kills.
Alright, so listen, welcome back to our podcast. We had a bit of a break there because the moan bags here couldn't make time from their makeup and hair routines to get back on here. We have a new name as well for Darby's new fight name is the Chipstick.
Big gap in the ears.
He looks like a chipstick, look at him.
Boots up in shape.
Oh, boom! And he's going on holidays, so why not? So he's going on holidays, and I was letting everyone know
he's not going on holidays.
He's quarantined when he comes home.
Is it one of the 12 countries you're allowed?
He's going to Lusk. He's going to Lusk. He's going to Lusk. Yeah. So anyone watch the UFC during the week?
I didn't see them. Maybe going. I saw highlights of Qatar and Edge and Qatar. The battle was good.
Why don't you speak up there? That can't hear you whispering.
I watched the other one last Saturday. Ryano and Jose Aldo. I thought that was a cracker. Just Aldo's not even fighting bad. He's just Ryano was just on it.
Yeah, and it's sad to see such a good fellow like Aldo. You know. Losing like that.
You would like to see him win. I would like to see him win and then retire.
And retire, yeah.
In the cage.
It's only 32. We only looked this at
I know, but still, it's the wear and tear. So if you look at a lot of, say, Olympic athletes, and people probably tell you with the wrestling, judo, a lot of the lighter weights, they retire very early because they're at that peak of their game, 18, 19, 20, and they're gone 26, 27. The heavier weights last longer. You want a little bit longer.
Now, to be fair, they looked like they were fighting and they phone box though. They didn't take a backward step in it, it was good for you.
He died of death down the fourth round, I think.
Well, the fight I enjoyed was the Khabib 2.0, the new fellow who fought in Brave. He's 6-0.
Yeah.
The guy from Chechnya. Real young face with a big beard.
AC.
Oh my god. Something else. He's
Who did you fight, John Phillips?
Yeah. Now, Phillips obviously big hitter, great fighter, but took him out of his game, took him down the first second. What do they call it? The Dagestani handcuff, got the wrist, handled him for the first round. Phillips showed great heart, of course, but he's one to watch. I watched him in Brave.
Chisinab or something his name is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Very good.
But he's fights out of that team in Stockholm with Gustafsson and so on.
All stars.
Yeah, so he's
Good
one to
base,
watch.
yeah. And that's the style of fighting you've got to introduce now into your team, isn't it? That sort of
But there's
time
Usman.
up and bang, you know.
Even Usman, just he push him on that cage, just wrestle, grind him out. It's effective over 4 rounds. You know, it's hard to. It's hard to do, and it's hard to get away from if you're the other man on the other side of the cage. You know, George is a good wrestler. Me and John Downey trained him over in top team, and he was just wrestling. And I think it was a strike force. He was fighting a strike force then. And he was on it. That was back in 2011. So, but yeah, that type of game, it's just winning fights. You know?
Yeah. And the noise in our fellas will change when we can change. Yeah. And the other thing, that English kid, Murphy,
we've seen him before on the.
He's bleeding good. You see him?
He fought that guy, AKA the guy that nobody wants to fight. We took him on a couple of weeks now.
Yeah.
Remember, was it a draw?
A draw, yeah.
Great.
He was great. He's good. He's going to be one to watch.
Did I see an SBG going to card now?
Oh, what
Davey
card?
or something on the UFC there the other day.
Phillips.
Phillips, I who that was, yeah. He was good.
You got beat? No.
I thought you won.
Who was it? Macron, no, that's what I got.
Americani.
Americani, isn't it?
Macron, Americani, yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to throw out bold statements. Back it up there, Dan.
Americani fought the fella from Dinky Ninjas, the
Yeah,
Scottish
fought
guy.
Danny Henry.
I didn't see any SPG lads in his corner. I don't know what the story is there.
He won with the Dars joke.
Yeah.
The other good fight was the one, I think the first fight of the main card. Guy that he's Moroccan, but he lives in Saudi Arabia or in Dubai there. Like he was.
Oh, he's got I've seen him getting
Forget his name.
signed. He's from MTK MMA. Got signed up.
Was that the guy that won the fight when I was over there judging in the? What he had his last fight in Dubai, now in the first pro battle, was it? And he got signed to UFC then, was it?
Yeah.
Could have been,
Yeah.
but he's one to watch. Well, great tie boxing, really good, great exciting fight. I think Dana got up out of the chair. I saw him at one point. He was kind of snoozing, writing notes, texting people, and when he won, he came right out.
You know Jack Shaw.
Yeah, Jack's great, isn't he?
Class act.
13 and 0.
14 and now, good.
He's fighting good guys. I think he had about 4 or 5 changes.
Yeah, but you know what? He comes from a great gym.
Richard,
The lads, he's out like trying the gym. There's no bullshit with them.
No.
They're tough as nails. They're great jiu-jitsu gym, great MMA gym. You go to shows with them. I've been at Cage Warrior shows with them and stuff, and they make you feel very welcome. We've been involved at UFC shows with them, and they're a great bunch of lads.
He's likeable too, like in his post-fight talking about the NHS and England.
Yeah,
and so
no
on,
bullshit.
great
They're
job.
lovely. They're just like us. They're working class lads and that.
Good
You
guy.
know, Welsh lads. They're good.
So who we got on tonight? You got back Joe Loopy's back after the year.
Yeah.
How do you think he'll do?
I don't know.
I don't know the guys. I don't know too much about the guys fighting.
He's a
but
Spanish guy who's fighting,
big.
and
Is
he's
he
got.
out of Argentina or something? No.
I think he might be from Spain, but he's already Spanish speaking. But he's got a lot of wins by submission.
That was half South America, Bill.
Got a lot of wins by submission, but he's got. I think he won his last by KO, but submission specialist. But
Joe's tidy on the ground though as well. He said,
And Joe was sharp with the hands, pro
Yeah.
boxer.
yeah,
I don't think Joe looked himself his last maybe 2 fights. 48.
I'd love to see him getting back to that.
Yeah.
he's
you
the
know.
bookie's favourite, Joe.
Is he?
I'm glad, lovely.
I think he'll do it, Joe.
And I don't know would the Irish aren't getting back behind him. You know, I know he's over training Tri-Star, but it's a shame. Like he is from Ireland, he's from Donegal, and they should be getting behind him. You know.
Yeah.
Best of luck, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, best luck.
We're all
And
behind
Joe was here when he was at the fight in Dublin at the time. And he got, remember the thing happened. He was here and he helped out lads, and he's a lovely fella.
Were you in TriStar when he was there?
Yeah, I was actually got a good few rounds with him too, and I think he got clipped. That's why he got pulled from the UFC fight night. And I had just done
double attack there.
round 3 with him, and he was doing 5. And I think round 4 he just got a bit too big of a punch in training, and that's what called the fight. You know, so it was like literally the last round of his whole fight camp, and it messed the whole thing up for him.
I hear the best thing about TriStar is those barbecues. Is that right?
Eric's house, yeah. Serious stakes.
Was it out in the wilderness? Is it or?
No.
Not like the barbecues we have here.
No, pissing the rain.
Late and half a sausage each.
Well, now hang on, we've loads of food,
Those
but
bonfires.
Miles price out there. Did you hear about that, did you, Bill? Miles, well, talking to you. So the Kilkenny lads, he said to them, come down, he said, we're doing a barbecue after the session. Let everyone mingle and have a good chat together and all. So about 15 in the ground in the car, and he hands Robbie 6 frozen burgers. There you are, throw that into the thing. Right, and that's not even
No
the,
T-bones,
that's not even
ribeyes,
the,
no.
that's not even the best of it. Then when he was gone, he took the burgers home with him. Now, we're actually going to do an in-house competition here now in August, just for the Team Ryano affiliates, and we'll keep the numbers down below the 50. We might do it in 2 days, whatever, but over 2 days. But we're going to do that, so we're going to do an in-house no-gi competition.
Shout
Get
out
all the
to
MMA wrestler lads back.
Peter McClay, Causeway, wearing a shirt.
Yeah.
Bit of COVID weight on me, but it fits me, Peter.
We're just putting it out there now. Badly not in Red's team.
You might. How I'm doing it. What we're going to do is, everyone's going to fight in their own individual weight category and belt. But what we're going to do is we're going to have teams. So we're going to have 5-man teams, and you're going to be mixed. You're going to be mixed with clubs from around the country.
Like a quintet.
No, like so you're going to be mixed with clubs around the country, and so you could be someone from Causeway on your team, someone from Kilkenny, someone from Dublin. You might have 2 black belts and 3 white belts. But that was just the way the names come out of the hat. You fight your own individual weight and belt, and you get points, and then you will also fight in the team event and you get points. So you might get your ass kicked in the team event, but you could be getting the points in the individual. And at the end of the little event, probably 6 events, we're gonna have a little prize for the winning team.
Mars bar.
Between
today, cool.
yeah. So,
How many affiliates are there now?
so we have up the north Peter Lavery.
Yeah.
So Peter Lavery's sort of the main man up there. Even though he's Coyote, he's my main man up there. So there's Peter McLean Causeway, and then there's Jason in Derry, and there's Andy Chapman then in fucking the other part of Derry, and then Noah. Noah has all the young little good kids. They're up there as well. They're all in that Derry area. Don't ask me the name, but we'll be up there this year. And then we're down here. Then we've Usheen and Artane ourselves here. We've got the Donamead crowd. Then we got Kilkenny, Portlaoise, and Cork, and Wexford or Waterford. Is it whatever?
And where's Kenneth Street? What's that?
Portlaoise.
Yeah.
Kenneth, they're doing really good. Kenneth Street. They're like really jumping on board and really flying the flag for team.
A lot of young kids
great.
as well,
Yeah, a lot of young kids, a lot of young lads.
That's
And a
what
good
12 or
bunch.
14.
Yeah. So a good little army we have
Gotta
there.
go international. Who's out in Malta? Training.
Ayo.
He's
Ayo,
gone
yeah.
out there now, gone somewhere else now.
He's not back home.
I think he's gone somewhere else. I don't know. Hey, I'll get a haircut. Seeing that big hair in that video.
So the team are in a Portugal camp.
Yeah, team on a Portugal camp. So if the Portugal is on that list, is that list out yet?
No, Monday.
So if it's on the list, we'll be going ahead. The hotel want us to go. The gym is open. I think 90% of the lads want to go anyway. It's not till the end of September, so I think we're in a good position, you know, to go. Once the flights are going, you know, and not as if we're going over there being unhealthy. We're going to go over there well trained and well used to keep ourselves clean. So,
Well, I
are
think
you still going to go, Reza?
I'll go,
Yeah. You?
Not face gone. No, every day.
I think the program for COVID control has been good here. Everyone's been,
Yeah.
especially the young fellas, they've really been
I
buying into it.
think in general though in Ireland, I think it's after slipping.
What do
Flights
you
and
make
stuff
of
like.
the flights coming in from the States and all that?
That's a weird one.
Not good.
We're not level
Not
here,
good.
but States
It's a
are
great.
level.
That's not on the green list, so you can't go out, but they can come in.
Yeah,
Weird. And they're one of the worst countries in the world. Like.
yeah.
I don't know, because we're only being told what they want us to hear sometimes.
Oh, conspiracy theories.
No, but
Get the team
No,
from
but
Ohio.
Andy Bravo.
Yeah, but there's flights going out. There's flights going out all the time. It's like that trouble with media. You know what? People are doing things to make you object. There's probably flights coming out from America
And
and
the
America
airport
all the time.
wouldn't be enough though. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not.
Well,
even
I
half
know people that travelled, and they have got calls when they come here. They've been checked on 3 or 4 times. They travel from the UK and travel from other
If
places.
they have a test going to Cyprus, if they have a test like going through
Look.
the airport.
Yeah, I think for me what they should have really done was leaving us all in lockdown until August the 10th. We were all doing it anyway. Fuck the pubs and all this stuff, the gyms. Wait till August the 10th. I know it's hard. I'm saying that. I was struggling. But at least then, right, 6 months of lockdown, nothing in, nothing out. Then we see what happens.
But it was always going to spike when they reintroduced it.
Yeah,
like
and
you
then
said.
like, I don't want to be getting this little chatting into political stuff and all because it gets boring. But they were saying then as well that if you had a common cold rat and that COVID test was that was coming up in it, you know.
Let's leave it to the experts, yeah.
Yeah, leave it to the experts. Look at wash your hands. Make sure you have a fucking clean after training. Wash the mats down. We have that. Anto comes in every Saturday. He'll be in this evening and he'll disinfect the whole place with that machine. That happens every week. We do it every week. I mean, I'll tell you one thing. I'm surprised there's only bleeding colour left on the mats. The bleach has gone that mats. Every bleeding half an hour's been mopped down and washed. So that's the other thing. And then the other thing as well is you look and say, I was a bit old school thinking, but sometimes when you do need certain germs and gyms and households for your body to live and fight. You know what I mean?
It's our immune system.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you go clean, that's when you get sick, and that's the problem, isn't it? You're not letting your body fight things off. Anyway, enough of that bullshit. Good wrestling class today, Bill. We enjoyed that.
Yeah, it's good fun. I mean, the numbers are building.
Yeah.
Young fellas are great. They're very coachable. Like, show them something once, really good. Future's good for Irish wrestling, I think, you know. And talking about our affiliates as well. Like the last competition, big team from the north came down as well. So we're trying to do more with the Irish Wrestling Association. Do more north-south kind of interaction thing. I think it's very healthy for the sport.
Yeah, and I've been talking to Peter Lavery and Danny Corr. We're going to do something again with the MMA. We're going to bring a team up there. They're going to come down here, cross-border thing. We might actually bring the youngsters, the wrestlers up.
Yeah.
A bit of crack on the Saturday. So I've been talking to them about that. Nothing else, lads? No? Shy?
I'm looking forward to the fights tonight. I thought it'd be earlier, but they're for the US audience. So you're,
Gastelum or Hamad.
I gotta go for Gastelum. Yeah, I think Herman had a good
I don't
performance
even
last
know
time.
the card.
I don't watch them anymore.
That's
No, you know something, and this is terrible. I stopped watching them because not there were so many on, but the times and all.
They're too late.
And then I was always meant to. I used to enjoy the Sunday morning meeting the lads. They'd come up to me for breakfast and we watched the UFC. But there's so many now, and then we're doing so many things with wrestling, jiu-jitsu, with us up in the gym that I went off the boil a little bit. But I am trying to watch them now. I tell you what I like watching: the 24-hour stuff on the what's that thing? Embedded. Because I watch as a coach what they're doing in training, how they cut weight. I watch that part of it, and I'm more into that. And then when I'm watching the fights, I'm not watching the fights as a fan. I'm watching the fights. Oh, you're hanging a minute. Like we were telling me, Bill, there, the whole hand thing, what the Chechen boys are doing. So I'm watching that. What are they doing? I'm watching Poirier. Every time he's in the clinch, the little shots, the elbows, the backhands, he was striking from everywhere. Not letting his partner, opponent breathe. So that's what I watch. If I watch it different.
Well, what I like is hearing the coaches in the corner now, 'cause you can hear them real clear.
Yeah.
I think that's good. You get a real insight to them, you know.
Yeah, and that's the thing when we're talking about coaching. I set all the lads down here at the start of the week and talk about direction and goals and all this thing and the mentality and what people want. But I said we have to, as coaches, have to do the same thing. We have to be, you know. And I was saying, I looked at me coaching over the last few years, and I was bad last year, the year before. But not in all the fights. In some fights, I was bad in Reza's fight in Poland. I didn't push me what I usually do in the fights what I did them before. And I did the same with Butcher, and I did the same with James Sheen on one of the fights. The fight with in England, I wasn't the control itself, or I didn't do what I usually do. And it's when you look back and you say, oh, I wasn't on there as a coach that night. You have to be accountable yourself. You know what I mean? And I think that's a big thing as well. We think about the fighters, but the coaches have to be accountable and have to be confident in what you're saying. I stopped being confident, thinking I wasn't confident, and hang on, I am confident. But I put my hands up to that. 3 or 4 fights, you know.
So, Reg, you missing the DJing or what?
I was doing the
DJ last night.
Last night. Private house party.
Less than 10 people, or?
Yeah. All COVID.
Yeah. Big fancy DJ. He was using the bleeding speaker.
Yeah.
Line out, you know what I mean?
It's a good little speaker. Anyway, so what we're doing with this podcast now, instead of doing the usual, sit around for 3 hours and talk shit and bore everyone, we're going to add the classes in. So TJ was recording some of the wrestling and the stuff, and we might do the next one on the jiu-jitsu class, or we might do it on the MMA class. We'll add it into the class and we'll do a few techniques. So you'll see techniques that we're going on today, or you'll see with the wrestling. And that's the only way we can get these fuckers here, because they make more excuses.
He shaves his chest and everything for today.
Yeah,
No,
look.
I don't have any hair.
And listen, you want to know, we're doing a poll. Should he get nipple piercings before he goes on a holiday or not?
Over there.
I get them over there, yeah. So where are you going on holidays?
I'm not, when I am going on holidays. It's
Oh.
hypothetical if I was to go on holidays.
Okay, so Bruno, where are you? We're part of the crew. You got all huffy now with TJ's here. Instead of using your phone, you're using the camera. Let's get back at it, lads. Anyway, look, until the next time. Good luck.
Thanks. So this is your shield, this is your sword. Don't reach for the sword. He's going to come underneath like this. So your hand fight here, and then arm, right? So right from here, elbow in, and moving around, right? Exactly. Big steps. So you got this further up. Let's see you do it though. Don't do it. Oh, don't do that. Just a little move. He's coming in to get me. Boom, here, right? It's called the Iranian overtime. Look. Like that. Boom, like that. Here. Look at this. Look. Not even an ankle pick. You do it again fast. Finish up here. Drop in. So I say he lost control of the head, either on purpose, or because Ryan forced us up, or because Reggie didn't do it right. One of those 3 reasons. So this time, Ryan, you shoot it up like this.
All of them.
So that's how a lot of takedowns are scored now in wrestling, because like that. The word for this month is no excuses. That's the word we all know by. No excuses. So, no excuses. Working late last night.
No excuse, like there's fucking this or there's that, and have a sore leg or only one leg of a broken arm, you can train with the other arm. Alright? So if you go, what I want you all to do, go and look up Olympic champions or world champions, see what they do. A very famous judo girl, Karen Briggs, one of the first British women judo champions. She broke her leg in the final of the World Championships, in the middle of the fight, kept fighting on, held the girl down, and then when she came back there, she trained the whole left side of her body because she couldn't use her right side. She said, I still get on the mat, it's only my leg is broke, nothing else is broke. So you have to have that mentality and that mindset. We use all have that, you just have to help each other out. When you come up here, like you're doing this week, help each other out, coach each other, take on, you know what, the information being given to us, be coachable. That's the main thing. And there's a massive improvement in 1 week from everybody. So round of applause.